Hey guys, we're going to work on a section view in this video. I've got the train wheel, and I want you to see how to create this view right here, which is a section view of the wheel. So we've basically sliced it right where you see this line A. We've sliced it, and then we're looking from this left side. You see the direction of the arrows? That's the direction of our view we'd be looking at. And then we'd be able to see the inside, where the cutting plane cut the material, and that's what these diagonal lines are. Those are your section lines right there. Okay, and then we're going to dimension that. Went ahead and did what's called a full section, where I just sliced all the way through. There's half sections and quarter sections and other types of views we could create, but my focus really would be trying to make sure that I've dimensioned half of it really well, so that somebody can just come along and model this piece and then revolve around the center axis. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to create a new drawing sheet right here in our train project working drawings. So I'm going to right click and choose new sheet. I'm not going to start a new file. I'm just adding a new sheet to this file. And I'll skip this and come back to it. Okay, I'm going to bring in my base view of the wheel. So I need to navigate to the wheel. Where's the wheel here? And I made my scale pretty good size here. Okay, and I had played around with some of my display options. I think these tangent edges. I want to make sure hidden lines are turned off. Okay, but I was just trying to see, with this piece has some contour and there's some edges as as the basically go from flat to curved surface because of those fillets. Okay, and this is not going to be shaded. Just my orthographic view. There you go, and I'll go ahead and let's see. I already clicked, so I won't worry about making an isometric view right now. So to do the section view, right under here, place views, instead of bringing in a base view, I'm going to choose section. Inventor down below says select a view or view sketch. So select the view that we're going to want to section. So it's this view right here. I click on it. And now it says enter the endpoints of the section line. I want to go right through the middle of the wheel. So I'm not clicking yet, I'm hovering. I'm kind of finding where the middle is, and I'm coming straight up, and usually Inventor will give you that dotted line. There you go, so you can kind of make sure you are lined up with a point you referenced. And so I'm going to come all the way above here. I haven't clicked yet. I'm just hovering and moving my mouse carefully. I'm going to click right here for my first endpoint. Then I'm going to come all the way through the wheel to the bottom, and I'm going to click one more time. That'll be my second endpoint. Now Inventor lets you continue to choose more points. It says for enter additional points or choose continue from the right click menu. So we're going to be done since we're doing a full section. It's just one line, two endpoints, 1, 2, and that's it. So we don't need to click, do not left click again. You'd have to start over. So it says from the right click menu, choose continue. Okay, and now I can move my mouse and I can get a preview. Now this is actually the direction that I wanted to get right here. So I'm going to go ahead and left click. Okay, I want to see that tab there. And now I can go to move this, and I brought it over here. Okay. And this is just a view label that you can turn on and off, or you can kind of move around, etc. We can move these and just get a little control of that. Okay, so that is how to make a section view. That was the biggest thing. The next thing you're going to have to do is dimension this. Some things I did before dimensioning is I used my center mark on this feature here as well as the center of the wheel. And then I used this tool right here, which is the centerline bisector. It creates a center line, basically bisects two edges. So if I select the two edges, it'll put a line right through the middle. And I did that over here. I chose the two edges of the wheel, and then it automatically put that center line right down the middle. Okay. From there, I've used my dimensioning tool to dimension heights and radii for the fillets and the arcs. I have used it to dimension angles. If you choose two lines that are not parallel, you can get the degrees of separation, like here. We uncheck that. And I might want to know the angle between the gap of those holes. Okay, the regular dimension tool is good for giving you leader lines to give you the radius. Okay, there's nothing special you have to do to create those. Inventor just knows when you select the arc that that's what it wants. Okay, and so there's a lot of circles and arcs and things that we're going to dimension. Okay, if you know that you've got a value that maybe goes out more decimal places than it's showing, I'm going to turn off the dimensioning tool, double click on it, and you can go into precision and tolerance. And the precision, how precise do we want to be down to what unit? The primary unit right now is set to 3. And notice it goes 1, 2, 3. It shows that you're going to show 3 decimal places. I can change it to 4, and you'll see 4 decimal places. Okay, so if you know that that was not 0.063, but it was actually 0.0625, you might turn that on, make that a little more precise. Okay, so I did that. I used the regular dimensioning tool, to get these dimensions. These filleted edges, okay, basically when I would start modeling this, I would mock it up with just rectangles or perpendicular lines, and then I came back and filleted. So the heights that really mattered were to kind of right here, that change from concave to convex. Okay, and you kind of get the idea. All right, to create the isometric view, since I clicked too fast earlier, I can go back to place views and I can say I want a projected view of the front, and then I can move up in this direction. I could put it in a different direction if I want, but I'll click there, and I'm going to change the scale. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to right click on the red dotted border, I'll edit the view, I'll shade it, and I'm going to scale it down since I don't really have room on this paper. And that way it'll just be tucked into the corner, just as a reference. But that gives me, by scaling these two up, it just gives me more space to dimension. So there you have it. I have created a section view, and I've started to give you some ideas of how to dimension it. I'll go back to my wheel. If you want to pause on the video here, okay, you can use this and try to emulate what I've got here as an example in terms of what I've dimensioned.